All right. Yep. Should be good. Happy Sabbath if you're keeping Sabbath today. And welcome back. We're continuing Wisdom of Ben Sira, also known as Sirach or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 49 here. I've got R.H. Charles' translation pulled up. See if I can zoom it in a little bit. And I've got the Dead Sea Scrolls pulled up. Septuagint, Brenton Septuagint, Thompson Septuagint, Samaritan Pentateuch, Blue Letter Bible, Interlinear Bible, King James, and Text Critical New Testament for reference. All right, so this is interesting here. Unto eternity, this is chapter 48 we read last time. Unto eternity he declared the things that shall be and hid things before they came to pass. And that's talking about Isaiah. And down here we have a note. In the Syriac it reads, and as long as he was in the world, he saw signs and wonders before they came to pass. R.H. Charles has a note here, the translator, a misunderstanding or a conscious alteration of the Hebrew text. And we see that a lot. So always be mindful of that. They either misunderstood a Hebrew passage or they consciously altered the Hebrew text. So you see, this denotes Hebrew right here. If you look at the side, on the side here, beside verse 24, that is Hebrew manuscript B. This would denote Greek over here. So if you can see that, see G for Greek, and there's the Hebrew. In the Septuagint here, it has the Greek translation. He saw by an excellent spirit what shall come to pass at the last, which is close to what we have. And this here, and he comforted them that mourn in Zion, that's extra. Somebody added that. That's not in the Hebrew text. He showed what should come to pass forever and secret things before they came. So it's close, but you can tell it's not exact. Whoever translated that. So they either had a different Hebrew manuscript that was already changed or, So chapter 49, the name of Josiah or Josiah, no J back then, is a sweet smelling incense that is well mixed, the work of the apothecary. The mention of him is sweet in the palate as honey and as music at a banquet of wine. So here we've got... So literally, he's got sweet smelling incense. Literally in the Hebrew, it is incense of spices. That is well mixed. Literally, that is salted. So if you had a literal translation, it would say that is salted, which I wish they would do that more. But it doesn't read as smooth if it's a literal translation. So in the palette, Proverbs... Yep. You got to remember R.H. Charles is a 1912 translation, but it's good, just older. For he was grieved at our backsliding and put an end to the vain abominations, and he gave his heart wholly unto Elohim. And in days of violence he practiced piety, so holiness. In the days of violence, so we're talking about Josiah. Except David, Hezekiah, and Josiah, they all dealt utterly corruptly and forsook the law of the Most High. So these three, he's saying, except these three kings, they all dealt corruptly. They forsook the law, and the kings of Judah till they came to their end, and their might was given unto others, and their glory to a strange nation. And so the holy city was burned. And you notice the Gentiles are people that aren't Israelites are considered strangers. So nations that aren't Israel are considered strange nation. When you're grafted in the covenant, you believe in Messiah, you're considered an Israelite. You're no longer a stranger. Romans 11, Ephesians 2. also in the Old Testament. And so the holy city was burned, and the ways thereof laid waste through Jeremiah, because they had persecuted him, and he, a prophet formed from the womb. We see that in Jeremiah. Prophet from the womb. Jeremiah 1:5, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee, and before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee. So he sanctified Jeremiah before he even came out of the womb. That's how powerful he is. No limit. Nothing's impossible with God. See that in the New Testament. And I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. So he was a prophet formed from the womb. Can you do it again? Yes, he can. He can do whatever he wants to. So we got a bunch of notes here. Literally he gave. So it's not literal translation. By the hand of, literally. I can't see it. Zoom out. All right. The Hebrew, he was grieved. Noon hate lamed. He entered upon his inheritance, yields no satisfactory sense. The reference is doubtless to the effect produced on Josiah by the newly discovered book of the law, 2 Kings 22:11. Let's go check that out. So here we go. Zoom in. And it came to pass when the king had heard the words of the book of the law that he rent his clothes. So it's over here. And Hilkiah the high priest said unto Shaphan the scribe, I have found the book of the law in the house of Yahuwah. And Hilkiah gave the book to Shaphan, and he read it. And Shaphan the scribe came to the king, and brought the king word again, and said, Thy servants have gathered the money that was found in the house, and have delivered it into the hand of them that do the work, that have the oversight of the house of Yahuwah. And Shaphan the scribe showed the king, saying, Hilkiah the priest hath delivered me a book. And Shaphan read it before the king. And it came to pass when the king had heard the words of the book of the law, that he rent his clothes. And the king commanded Hilkiah the priest, and Ahikam the son of Shaphan, and Achbor the son of Micaiah, and Shaphan the scribe, and Azariah a servant of the king, saying, Go ye inquire of Yahuwah for me, and for the people, and for all Yehudah, concerning the words of this book that is found. For great is the wrath of Yahuwah that is kindled against us, because our fathers have not hearkened unto the words of this book, to do according unto all that which is written concerning us. So Hilkiah the priest, and Ahikam, and Achbor, and Shaphan, and Azariah went unto Huldah the prophetess, the wife of Shallum the son of Tikvah, the son of Harhas, keeper of the wardrobe. Now she dwelt in Jerusalem in the college, and they communed with her. And she said unto them, Thus saith Yahuwah Elohim of Israel, Tell the man that sent you to me, Thus saith Yahuwah, Behold, I will bring evil upon this place, and upon the inhabitants thereof, even all the words of the book which the king of Yehudah hath read, because they have forsaken me, and have burned incense unto other gods, that they might provoke me to anger with all the works of their hands. Therefore my wrath shall be kindled against this place, and shall not be quenched. But to the king of Yehudah, which sent you to inquire of Yahuwah, thus shall you say to him, Thus saith Yahuwah Elohim of Israel, as touching the words which thou hast heard, because thine heart was tender, and thou hast humbled thyself before Yahuwah, when thou heardest what I spake against this place, and against the inhabitants thereof, that they should become a desolation and a curse, and hast rent thy clothes, and wept before me. I also have heard thee, saith Yahuwah. So he humbled himself. He rent his clothes. He wept before him. Behold, therefore, I will gather thee unto thy fathers, and thou shalt be gathered into thy grave in peace, and thine eyes shall not see all the evil which I will bring upon this place. And they brought the king word again. He practiced piety, 23:3. So it goes on. And the king stood by a pillar and made a covenant before Yahuwah to walk after Yahuwah and to keep his commandments and his testimonies and his statutes with all their heart and all their soul, to perform the words of this covenant that were written in this book. And all the people stood to the covenant. So it's good stuff. Same thing they have in the Dead Sea Scrolls. They took an oath to return to the law of Moses with all their heart and all their soul. R.H. Charles got a note here. Contrast, however, to the representation of the chronicler, according to whom Asa, 2 Chronicles 15:8, and Jehoshaphat, 2 Chronicles 17:5, ought to be reckoned among the pious reforming monarchs. The Book of Kings also speaks favorably, though not with such marked emphasis, of these two rulers. Let's see here. I list 3. 2 Chronicles 15:8. Yep. Second Chronicles 17:5. Interesting. To pluck up, to break down, to destroy, and likewise to build and to plant and to strengthen. Prophet formed from the womb. That's talking about Jeremiah. Build, plant, and strengthen. Ezekiel saw a vision, so it switches to Ezekiel, and described the different beings of the chariot. He also made mention of Job among the prophets, who maintain all the ways of righteousness. And moreover, as for the 12 prophets, may their bones flourish in their place, who recovered Jacob to health and delivered him by confident hope. Got a whole section on the chariot beings. That's a whole study in itself. How shall we magnify Zerubbabel? This is the Greek here. He indeed was as a signet on the right hand, and also Jesus, the son of Josedek, who in their days built the house and set up on high the holy temple, which was prepared for everlasting glory. Nehemiah, glorious is his memory, who raised up our ruins and healed our breaches and set up gates and bars. Few like Enoch have been created on earth. He was also was taken up from the face thereof, from the face of the earth, taken up. Like Joseph was ever a man born, his body also endured a visitation. Shem, Seth, and Enoch were highly honored, but above everything, every living thing was the beauteous glory of Adam. This whole clause about Enoch being taken up is missing from the Syriac, maybe due to dogmatic reasons. Syriac also omits 44:16. Hebrew removes the difficulty with the verse here. Yep. Happy Sabbath. Trust Yah. Praise Yah. All glory to Him if it helps you or the sister. Happy Sabbath, Will. Much better. Thank you. Prophet Jeremiah and Baruch escaping to Ireland, where others from the tribe of true Judah fled to. I have not heard that. I've heard a lot of different stuff, but I hadn't heard that one. I can point you in the direction of. See if I can. I don't know if I can pull it up here or not. Let's see. Yeah, I've got the books in there. Yeah, I might be able to pull it up here. Yeah, there's a lot of theories that pop up all over the place. And it's like smack-a-mole. As much as I can find digging in history and scripture, and I'm like smack-a-mole. Like, they keep popping up. That's a new one, though. So Jeremiah went as far as the rivers of Babylon to see off the captives, and then he went to Egypt, and he died in Egypt. If I can find it here. It's funny, the early church writings say that he went to Egypt, and the early rabbi writings say he went to Babylon, and they're both right. But they're not both. They're both right, but they're both wrong. Because the early church writings leave out that he went to the rivers of Babylon to see the captives off, and the early rabbi writings leave out that no, he didn't go all the way into Babylon. He just went to the river, and he ended up in Egypt and died in Egypt. And then somebody else come up with this. I don't know how they got that, but let's see. Here we go. So the Apocryphon of Jeremiah, this is Giza Vernon's Dead Sea Scrolls, a short quotation. Originally considered as part of the Ezekiel Apocryphon, the remains of these manuscripts, written in a well-imitated biblical Hebrew, have been identified by the editor as pertaining to the apocryphal account of the life of Jeremiah in Babylon and in Egypt. Well-imitated biblical Hebrew. No, these are written in biblical Hebrew. What we have is imitated biblical Hebrew. But I won't get into that. I, Jeremiah the prophet, departed from before Yahuwah to accompany the captives who were taken captive from the land of Jerusalem, and came to Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babel, when Nebuzaradan, the chief of the bodyguard, smote, and took the vessels of the house of God, the priests, the sons of Israel, and led them to Babel. And Jeremiah the prophet went with them as far as the river, and he commanded them what they are to do in the land of their captivity. And they obeyed the voice of Jeremiah in regard to the words which Elohim commanded him. And they were to keep covenant of God of their fathers in the land of their captivity. So they're still supposed to keep the covenant. And they were not to do as they had done in their kings and priests, and they profaned the name of God. And Taphnes, which is in the land of Egypt, and they said to him, inquire of God for us. But Jeremiah did not listen to them. It did not inquire for them of God. A jubilation and prayer, and Jeremiah lamented, lamentations over Jerusalem. And the word of Yahuwah was addressed to Jeremiah in the land of Taphnes, which was in the land of Egypt, go to the sons of Israel and the sons of Yehuda and Benjamin, and speak to them, saying, day by day seek my decrees and keep my commandments, and do not follow the idols of the nations after which your fathers walked, for they will not save you. So we see exactly what happened to Jeremiah. And also we see exactly what happened to sons of Israel, the sons of Judah, and sons of Benjamin. Strengthen yourselves to serve me with all your heart and all your soul in their distress, but I will not seek them on account of their unfaithfulness. Yeah, it just goes on. Yep. But yeah. Apocryphon, they call it the Apocryphon of Jeremiah. So, yep, smack another mole. Scripture says Jeremiah went to Babylon and Egypt. So 50. Thanks for bringing that up, though. I hadn't heard that one. I heard that Baruch went with the captives to Babylon. So he stayed with them in Babylon. So chapter 50 was Simeon the son of Johanan the priest, in whose time the house was renovated, and in whose days the temple was fortified, in whose days the wall was built, having turrets for protection like a king's palace, in whose time a reservoir was dug, a water cistern like the sea in its abundance. He took thought for his people to preserve them from robbers, and fortified his city against the enemy. How glorious was he when he looked forth from the tent, and when he came out from the sanctuary, like a morning star from between the clouds, and like the full moon on the feast days, like the sun shining upon the temple of the Most High, and like the rainbow becoming visible in the cloud, like a flower on the branches in the days of the first fruits, and as a lily by the water brooks, as the sprout of Lebanon on summer days, and as the fire of incense in the censer, like a golden vessel beautifully wrought, adorned with all manner of precious stones, like a luxuriant olive tree full of berries, and like an oleaster abounding in branches, when he put on his glorious robes and clothed himself in perfect splendor. When he went up to the altar of majesty and made glorious the court of the sanctuary, when he took the portions from the hand of his brethren, while standing by the blocks of wood, around him the garland of his sons, like young cedar trees in Lebanon, and like willows by the brook did they surround him, all the sons of Aaron in their glory, and Yahuwah's fire offering in their hands, in the presence of the whole congregation of Israel, until he had finished the service of the altar, and arranging the rows of wood of the Most High, and stretching forth his hand to the cup, and poured out the blood of the grape, yea, poured it out at the foot of the altar, a sweet-smelling savor to the Most High, the All-King. Greek's got All-King. So the Hebrew most likely is King of Eternity. Then the sons of Aaron sounded with the trumpets of beaten work. Yea, they sounded and caused a mighty blast to be heard for remembrance before the Most High. Then all flesh hasted together and fell upon their faces to the earth to worship before the Most High, before the Holy One of Israel. And the sound of the song was heard, and over the multitude they made sweet melody. And all the people of the land cried in prayer before the Merciful, until he had finished the service of the altar, and his ordinances had brought him nigh unto him. Then he descended and lifted up his hands upon the whole congregation of Israel, and the blessing of Yahuwah was upon his lips, and he glorified himself with the name of Yahuwah. And again they fell down now to receive the pardon of Elohim from him. Now bless the God of all, who doeth wondrously on earth, who exalteth man from the womb. Sounds like Jeremiah. And dealeth with him according to his will. May he grant you wisdom of heart, and may there be peace among you. May his mercy be established with Simeon, and may he raise up for him the covenant of Phinehas. May one never be cut off from him, and as to his seed, may it be as the days of heaven. For 2 nations doth my soul feel abhorrence, yea, and for a third, which is not a people, the inhabitants of Sira and Philistia, and that foolish nation that dwelleth in Shechem. Let's see. Yeah, that's the Greek there. Foolish nation, Deuteronomy 32. Which he declared in the explanation of his heart, and which he taught with understanding. Blessed is the man who meditateth on these things, and he that layeth them up in his heart shall become wise. For if he can do them, he shall be strong for all things. For the fear of Yahuwah is life. So supposedly Jeremiah took the stone of Scone, also Jacob's pillar, to Ireland where he is buried. He went with the scribe Baruch and Princess T from Egypt. Check into it. I went into rabbit hole. I'll definitely check into it. From everything I can tell, Judah and Benjamin went into Africa, and Rome was killing off Hebrews. So for a long time, there wouldn't have been any safe place for them. But I'll look into it. What does it say about full moon on the feast days? It just says a full moon on the feast days. And I don't know how that would work. I'd have to look at the calendar. Some days may have a full moon. Let's see. Pull this up. Yeah. That's interesting. They got an article there. Calendar. Open. All right, so this will be in March, full moon. Full moon. Full moon. Full moon. Full moon's on a Sabbath, month 5. Full moon. Full moon on the 17th. Full moon. Full moon. Full moon. Yep. No full moon on a feast day. Full moon on another Sabbath here. Could be what he's referencing. Could be. Or it could be a different year. I'm not sure. Chapter 51, I will thank thee, Yahuwah, O King. I will praise thee, O Elohim of my salvation. I will declare thy name, thou strength of my life. For thou hast redeemed my soul from death. Thou didst keep back my flesh from the pit, and from the power of Sheol thou didst deliver my foot. Thou didst preserve me from the scourge of a slanderous tongue, and from the lips of them that turn aside to lies. Thou wast on my side in the face of those that rose up against me. Thou didst help me according to the abundance of thy mercy. Out of the snare of those that watch for my stumbling, and from the hand of those that seek my life, from manifold troubles that didst thou save me. That sounds like David. A psalm. And it's interesting. Sirach, Wisdom of Ben Sira, chapter 51, is attached to the great Psalm scroll. So it's in with David's writings. It sure does sound like David. And from straits of the flame round about me, from the midst of the fire that I kindled not, from the deep of the belly of Sheol, from the lips of wickedness, from the framers of lies, and the arrows of a deceitful tongue, my soul drew nigh unto death, and my life to the nethermost Sheol. And I turned about on every side, yet there was none to help me. And I looked for one to uphold, but there was none. Then did I remember the loving kindness of Yahuwah, and his mercies which have been from of old, who delivered them that trust in him, and redeemed them from all evil. I lifted up my voice from the earth, and cried out for help from the gates of Sheol. Yea, I cried, O Yahuwah, my Father art thou, for thou art the hero of my salvation. Forsake me not in the day of trouble, in the day of wasteness and desolation. I will praise thy name continually, and will sing thy praise in prayer. Then did Yahuwah hear my voice, and give heed to my supplication, and he redeemed me from all evil, and delivered me in the day of trouble. Therefore will I give and offer praise, and bless the name of Yahuwah. Now this is very interesting here. This fell out of most manuscripts, only preserved in the Hebrew. And our brothers group the other day found out that it's in the footnotes of the Catholic Bible. So they got something going for them. So here is a thanksgiving. Give thanks unto Yahuwah, for he is good, for his mercy endureth forever. Give thanks to the Elohim of praises, for his mercy endureth forever. Sounds like David some more. Give thanks unto him that keepeth Yisrael, for his mercy endureth forever. Give thanks unto him that formeth all, for his mercy endureth forever. Give thanks unto the Redeemer of Yisrael, for his mercy endureth forever. Give thanks unto him that gathereth the outcast of Israel. That might be one reason it's missing from other translations. For his mercy endureth forever. Give thanks unto him that buildeth his city and his sanctuary, for his mercy endureth forever. Give thanks unto him that maketh the horn to sprout for the house of David, for his mercy endureth forever. Give thanks unto him that chooseth the sons of Zadok to be priests. Dead Sea Scrolls, for his mercy endureth forever. And R.H. Charles would have had no idea that they were in the Dead Sea Scrolls here. The only thing he had was the Zadokite work found in Egypt. Give thanks unto the shield of Abraham, for his mercy endureth forever. Give thanks to the rock of Isaac, for his mercy endureth forever. Who's the rock? First Corinthians 10:4. And did all drink the same spiritual drink, for they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them, and that rock was Christ. Give thanks unto the mighty one of Jacob, for his mercy endureth forever. Give thanks unto him that hath chosen Zion, for his mercy endureth forever. Give thanks unto the King of the kings of kings, for his mercy endureth forever. And he hath lifted up the horn for his people, the praise of all his pious ones. That's holy, set apart. For the children of Israel, a people nigh unto him. Hallelujah. For the children of Israel. Maybe another reason this dropped out of other translations and was only in the Hebrew. When I was yet young, I wandered abroad. I desired her and sought her out. In my youth, I made supplication and prayer. That sounds like Proverbs language there. And I will seek her out even to the end. She blossomed like a ripening grape. My heart rejoiced in her. My foot trod in her footstep. From my youth I learned wisdom. Yep, wisdom is her. That's in Enoch too. I bowed down mine ear a little and received her, and much knowledge did I find, and her yoke was glorious to me. Her yoke, what did Messiah say? Matthew 11:29. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and you shall find rest unto your souls. Take his yoke. And burden is light. Matthew 11:30. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Her yoke was glorious to me, and to my teacher do I offer thanks. I purposed to do good with her, and I was not put to shame, for I found her. My soul was attached to her, and I turned not away my face from her. I spread forth my hands to the heaven above, and forever and ever I will not go astray from her. My hand opened her gates, and I entered in unto her, and looked upon her. I set my soul aright after her, and I found her in her purity. I got me understanding through her guidance, therefore I shall not be forsaken. My inward part was troubled like an oven to look upon her. Therefore have I gotten a good possession. Yahuwah gave me the reward of my lips, and with my tongue do I praise him. Turn in unto me, you unlearned, and lodge in my house of instruction. See, at least R.X. Charles was honest with the name here. He didn't translate it Lord. He didn't translate it Jehovah. He actually tried to translate it, but they didn't have a J back then. It was a Y. And they didn't have a V back then. That would be a ooh sound. Yahuwah. So he tried. He did better than a lot of modern translators. So here, how long will you lack these things, and how long shall your soul be so athirst? I open my mouth and speak of her. Acquire wisdom for yourselves without money. Without money. Isaiah 55:1. Ho, everyone that thirsteth, come ye to the waters, and he that hath no money, come ye buy and eat. Yea, come buy wine and milk without money and without price. Wherefore do you spend money for that which is not bread, and for your labor for that which satisfieth not? Hearken diligently unto me, and eat that which is good. Let your soul delight itself in fatness. Incline your ear and come unto me. Hear, and your soul shall live, and I will make an everlasting covenant with you, even the sure mercies of David. That would be Daud. Behold, I have given him for a witness to the people, a leader and commander to the people. Spend money for that which is not bread. We can go into that too. Bring your necks under her yoke, and her burden let your soul bear. She is nigh unto them that seek her, and he that is intent upon her findeth her. Behold with your eyes that I have labored but little therein, and abundance of peace have I found. Hearken to my teaching, though you be but a few, and much silver and gold shall you acquire thereby. May my soul delight in my Yeshua. Yay. Syriac Greek. Oh, can't read that yet. Syriac in my repentance. And you shall not be put to shame in singing my praise. Work your work in righteousness, and he will give you your reward in its time. Blessed be Yahuwah, and praised be his name to generations. Thus far the words of Simeon the son of Yeshua, who is called Ben Sira. Simeon the son of Yeshua, who is called Ben Sira. The wisdom of Simeon the son of Yeshua, the son of Eleazar, the son of Sira. May the name of Yahuwah be blessed from now and unto eternity. It will. It will. So, Syriac. Bar Sira is ended. Wisdom of Solomon. I highly recommend that one too. That's good stuff. Psalms of Solomon is another good one. Trust y'all. Full moon. Maybe that signals a jubilee. Yep, could be. What text are you looming to venture into next? I enjoy your work studies, brother. I'm not sure. Getting sick really threw me off. I went back through Enoch because I learned so much since I did it last time. I don't know if I'll go back through something else I've learned or try another book that I haven't put on yet. I just have to see where I'm led. Maybe pray about it. I try not to jump right in to the first inclination that I get. Give it a little time, So, I don't know. If there's any Apocrypha books I haven't done, I might do another one of those. I think I've done Wisdom of Solomon, Psalms of Solomon. Yeah. Not sure. Yeah. So, hopefully you can be there and study along with me. That'd be great. So, Hope this was a blessing and helpful to y'all. Testament of Job. I'll check that out. And praise Yah if it was helpful. And yeah, happy Sabbath to whoever's keeping the Sabbath again. And hope to see y'all next time.